What's up everybody, Jay here from Rock and Groove. Today we're going to be reviewing the Caline Pure Sky Overdrive. Welcome back to Rock and Groove everybody, your one-stop shop for all things guitar. Today we're going to be talking about what I think is a really cool alternative to the Timmy, and that is the Caline Pure Sky Overdrive. This puppy here runs you about 30 bucks. Actually, a matter of fact, I think I got this within the 20s, like around $28 total. But it's solid and it sounds great. We're going to talk today about what this thing's about and how it really sounds in a sound test. Clones are very popular right now, especially cheap clones that we can find on Amazon. And this pedal here is no different than a lot, but the quality and the sound that comes from this box is fantastic. The Timmy is a very popular transparent overdrive that you can get. I've seen it around $100, a little bit more, a little bit less, depends on if it's used and who's selling it and so on. But a lot of us may not have the $100 or just don't feel comfortable dropping $100 on a small little box, especially when there are alternatives. And I believe Caline puts out a lot of fantastic products, especially in the overdrive department, and the Pure Sky is no exception. The Pure Sky is a transparent overdrive, and what we mean by transparent is that when you plug this in and you crank it up, the sound is not a completely altered sound that comes through, meaning that you're still able to hear what kind of guitar you're playing. You're still able to hear the personality of the amp that you are using. So say for instance I use a Vox AC15, I can still tell it's a Vox AC15, and I can still tell that I'm using my Telecaster through it. And so with the transparent overdrive, it still keeps the personality of your guitar and your amp and everything that you're doing without completely changing the tone to where it just sounds electronic and sounds artificial. So this right here is great in that sense. It also gives you a good clean boost, as well as cranking it up, and frankly I think can give you a bit of an overdrive in this sense. You have your four main controls. You got a volume, you got a gain, and instead of one single control for tone, you have a treble and a bass. And I think that's pretty awesome. Like Caline's products, we don't have a place for a battery. It's just a 9-volt plug-in with a negative pole piece in the center, which is not a problem for me because I run it through a power supply. It is solid. As you can see, I already have this thing taped up. It goes right on my pedal board. I really like it. Let's give it a shot. So what are my thoughts on the Pure Sky? I think it's excellent. I think it works really good. I think it sounds fantastic. It's built like a tank. I have had no problems in it, and I've been playing this thing for months. And I really love it. As you can see, it's got the Velcro, it's got a permanent spot on my pedal board, and it does the job. It does more than the job. I really like the fact that the treble and the bass give me a lot more control over the tone. If I really dial the treble back, it gets very warm, and if you dial it all the way back, as you can tell, it gets too warm and it sounds muffled naturally. But I really have a lot of control with that treble, and the higher the treble goes, it gives a little bit more of a volume boost, but at the same time it still gives it clarity, and that's what I really like. I love the bass controls. I can really bring that back. It really complements the warmth of the lower treble, but it can also really control the treble. If I have that treble cranked for a little bit more crunch, a little more crispness on the drive, I can bring my bass back and kind of really pull it back and control it, but still keep the qualities that I'm looking for. And also with the bass, the higher I pump this thing, it really gives it a punch to my distortion, and it really gives it a lot more body that I haven't seen in my other pedals. I do notice though, when I really crank that bass up higher, the higher it goes, my lower bass notes do get a little bit muffled, but I think that's natural, and I don't plan on pushing it that high up on the bass anyway. The gain itself is awesome. The lower I have it, it gives me a nice little clean boost, and I can gradually crank it, get a little more dirt to it, into where I can really have this thing screaming and roaring, and I really like that. So there's a lot of versatility to that. Something else I feel that is a fantastic part of this pedal is that it has a different personality. You may hear in a lot of these videos to where, oh, you crank this, it gives you versatility, or turning that up will give you more of a boost or a clean boost. A lot of them do essentially the same thing in that regard, but when you stack these pedals next to each other and listen, you'll hear the personality. They will be a different voice. And I have a video coming on that specifically, because keep your eye open for a video where I compare my 3 budget pedals, where you can see each one of the different voices, the different personalities coming out, even though they will be taking care of the same job and doing the same thing. They all have a different voice that I think complements your playing, and so I really appreciate that about the Pure Sky. There's a particular personality to this pedal that I really like, and so I love this. It sounds fantastic. I played it with my band, I played it live, I played it recording, and it really flows and sounds fantastic. Now, our other guitar player in our band actually has a Timmy. I have a Pure Sky. Well, they play them, we play them together, and when we play them together, it sounds phenomenal. And so I really appreciate this pedal. Thank you for watching. Check us out on Instagram, like and subscribe. Leave a comment, tell us what you think. Have you played the Pure Sky? Have you played the Timmy? Do you think this is garbage? Do you think this is a great comparison, especially paying in the 20s? Lower than 30 bucks, less than 30 bucks for this pedal. What do you think? Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and as always, have fun.